Excuse me a second. Castellano's got a lot to say tonight, folks, and what better way to start out? A little of Great Granny's Diet Ginger Ale. 100% it cures your ailments. Excuse me a second, I'm slurring, and I didn't even drink any yet. Tonight's episode's called The Good, the Bad, and the Mummy. What am I talking about? Well, folks, people said Valvoline, when you expose them, is the cheats that they are. A1 Castellano. When you talked about the GM reward card, they said car dealers from across the country called in and said, you know what, you're right. They screwed a lot of people, Castellano. But you know what, you're up on it. You're looking out for us. Who do you have in your book of rules or misrules or misguidance? I'm going to tell you. I don't want to give you away his last name, but his first name is Rich. And what do you call this kind of stuff there, producer?
Cologne.
Oh, Rich Cologne. Okay. I don't want to tell you his name. Rich Cologne. This guy's had this past weekend, he had Wet and Wild too. You remember last year we did a show Wet and Wacky about this goof dancing bear. He had a big party. People were stranded in the middle of the water, no way to get back. What would this moron do this year? Well, he needed a little money to run the show. Who's the money man? Of course, Rick. Kind-hearted Rick that believed his gullible lies. Fatty Arbuckle told me, and I use the term loosely because the producer, a lot of producers slim himself. Well, anyways, he said, Rick, I need $180. I said, you nuts? You haven't paid me back the other $1,000 you borrowed. Oh, please, I need $180. You could have my propeller. I need this propeller to run your boat. Matter of fact, your sister wrecked it, but don't tell her that, but she wrecked it, and I just had it fixed for her. Your sister wrecked it. Yeah, I know. My sister's hands around with classy people, and she's a class act. She didn't wreck it because she said she'd be responsible for it. That's why you didn't want me to tell her. But anyways, hold my propeller. You know how much I love my boat. Hey, you know when I go on my boat, I like to eat donuts. At least I think that's donuts that's on the end of your nose, all that powder you're wiping off. Anyway, what's the name of your boat? The Soprano. Do you realize the show's been canceled? Anyway, oh yeah, Mr. Soprano. Mr. Soprano. Anyway, old buddy, old chum. Here's my propeller. And please, I'll pay you back tomorrow. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Like Wimpy used to say. You didn't pay and you still didn't pay. I got this piece of garbage right here. It belongs to that garbage boat that the key broke off just trying to start it. Anyway, your jalopy come, squeeze me for $180. Never came to get the propeller. Never came to pay me. You know what? The producer's even my witness. Not only did you borrow $180 for the propeller, but you came and shook me down. You needed to borrow another $25. By the time you left, you got $70. Folks, what kind of person does that kind of stuff? Well, I'll tell you, the kind of person you might see at a gas station there with a gas can walking up to everybody, and he's got a bicycle. He's riding a bicycle and said he needs $3 or $4 for gas. Yeah, okay, so anyways, producer knows that sometimes it takes Castellano a little more time to get in the mood. That's why, Great Granny, you're a blessing.
So what are we going to do with the propeller now?
Well, the propeller, it's worthless. I'm going to go toss it in a dumpster, and I wish I could put this on YouTube, what I'd like to say. Well, I could put it on YouTube, but I'd like to play it on the show. But sometimes Castellano says words that he might not oughta. So, without further ado, let's get on with the lambasting. This gentleman is known as Dancing Bear. Did I mention I played semi-pro football before? Was I any good? Pretty good. Me and my brother were, pretty tough. Castellano was probably, at the twilight of his career, voted, let's see, what was I voted year after year? The most cheap shot, even though I wasn't. The biggest cheap shot ever in football. I guess it's just because of my height. Anyway, Cologne played 1 year or 2 years with me. Well, did I say play? Listen, this guy, the tackling dummy, threw him around. He had to jump an inch to try to hit the dummy, and the dummy gave him a bloody nose. Look at what I mean. How hard of hitting this guy was. This is a guy that's tough, good looking and strong. None of the above. He used to go before we had a game. He worked for us. He'd sit there, put in his wristbands, check. They were Nike. Put your shoes on, check. He wore his uniform 3 hours before the game. Would you imagine a grown man with his football uniform on working because you want everybody to know you played football? But little did you know, you're working. Let's put it this way. Pinocchio, you had splinters in your butt so big, when they yanked them out, they were like 2x4s. You could use them as oars. That's how much you played. 0. You were one of the worst players in history. Only reason you're on the team is to fill the roster. Wet and Wild. Let's see what we got. Wet and Wild. We're going to have a real good thing. We got Red Bull. Yeah. Red Bull may have sponsored your thing. I don't know. Maybe you gave them money. I say, Red Bull, would you like to bring stuff over? We'll pay you. I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know. I don't care. But I just know one thing. The guy's got no credit. He has to use my charge card. Rick, I'm going to go watch a Buffalo Bill game, and could I just use your credit card? Just use it. Okay, you nuts. Use my credit card. No, I'm not going to spend any money on it. All I'm going to do is hold the room. Because you need a credit card to hold the room. Come on, Cologne, are you nuts? Rick, this is Rich Cologne. That's all he had to say. I should have knew better. Me like a moron. Here you go. Just use it. Don't go charge anything on it. Well, comes back from the weekend. $1,700, $1,800 charged on it. Took months to get paid back. The first time I got paid back. And what does he get? Strip bars, bars, hotel rooms, all kinds of stuff on my charge card that he didn't have permission to use. Did not have permission to use. Now, Rick, why would this guy, he owns the boat, the Soprano. Why would he use your charge card? Well, obviously he doesn't have his own because he ruined his credit. Obviously lives paycheck to paycheck. And ladies, if you go with him, I saw a couple of the videos he had on his phone, and you go with him and whatever you guys are doing, I don't know if you guys are eating donuts together, whatever you're doing, he's got nothing. He's like one of those guys that go out there, grab a handful of ones, and put a $50 bill on the outside and show you a wad to choke a horse. And actually you look at the wad, with the $50 bill, there's $58 there. There's 0. He's got nothing. He doesn't own much. Oh, I got a house over here in Webster, and I got, he does? Look, if he's got a house in Webster, which I'm not saying he doesn't, but if he does, he's backwards into it. If it's a $100,000 house, he owes $300 on it. Okay? Don't let him fool you, girls. He is a loser. A loser. Look, his boat sputters and do you think it purrs around her? It's nothing. What is he? He's nothing. All he is a user. A user. And I'm the crumb. I'm the idiot that's there time and again to bail him out. Rick, why are you saying this kind of stuff? Do you know if you say this, you're probably not going to get paid back? I don't need to get paid back, folks. I'm telling the truth. And sometimes the truth is so much sweeter than money. This guy's probably not going to pay me anyways. You know what? Lie after lie after lie after lie. That's all this guy does is lies. He's worse than a used car salesman. He's worse than a car salesman. I hate car salesmen. Very few do I like. Very few. I don't hate them all. Just most of them. But anyways, Cologne. The guy. Did you ever see his body? I'm telling you, he don't need the dancing bear costume. He wears it. He lives it. Dancing bear. In case you don't remember, folks, look over on the internet. Google dancing bear from Captain Kangaroo. That's what this guy looks like. Matter of fact, dancing bear's a little more muscular and a little meaner and a little tougher. Excuse me a second. While I have a little swig. There's plenty more. Watch this commercial or watch me, my guy sing on the thing. Castellano needs a refill. Excuse me a sec. Wait a minute. Let me enjoy it in front of everybody. Folks, I don't want to leave anything out. After all, this guy's my buddy, my good buddy. Let's see. Family member of his died a while back. Real nice person. Actually, a great person. So they got nothing to do with this. But anyway, he owed me money back then too. You know how it is when somebody that you care about loses a family member. Say, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I didn't. I let him go. Of course, a classy guy like me, like what I would do. If somebody said, don't worry about it, I said, no, I made you a promise. I'm going to pay you anyways. I just need a little more time or whatever. But anyways, he gladly didn't want to pay. But anyways, Kelly's been getting up again, way up. As a matter of fact, this is the kind of guy that I want to get license plates for my car or something. And, or I want to save a couple dollars doing this or that, whatever. He'll drive over from where he lives in Webster and drive over and say, well, I need $20 at least for gas just for getting here. I have a Hummer. He told me that he didn't have a Hummer. He said he was driving one of his friend's cars. His friend, he switched cars, but I read his Facebook. Well, I didn't. The producer did. Read the Facebook, and Dancing Bear owns a Hummer. So he drives all the way over, which I could do. I have to ask him a question. What does he do? He drives over. I go, wow, that's really nice. I'm driving all the way from Webster to answer one of my questions. No, because he wanted money. He wanted loot. K-ola, cashola. Anyway, Dancing Bear and his cohorts, I don't know who he hangs out with. Nobody I'd like to hang out with. Anyway, people around the store, they say, what do you think of cologne? Well, first thought comes to mind, he's a flogger. Who would say such a thing? Gary Carello, Vlad, Louie, Mike Soldi, Harry Caffarelli, Beansy, Matt Iacetta, Tony Rossi. Hey, well, even the producer, waddling way down here, I have to ask you a question. We don't usually like to get you on camera, but
What's this?
Anyway, you already knew about the propeller. And you said, why would you do that? I go, well, he needs the propeller.
Well, you would think if he's going to have a boat party.
Wet and wacky. Wet and wild. All right. So, he come down. And what your first impression is he needed $25.
He was bouncing around for the $20 pretty hard.
Bouncing around like a pinball machine.
Yeah, like Ricochet Rabbit. Remember?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. But by the time he left, the $25 turned into what?
I think 70, wasn't it?
$70.
And he was willing to agree to anything, you know.
Oh, yeah, he'll take me out to dinner
give
someday.
You his firstborn child, anything, yeah.
The last time I went out to dinner with him, it cost me a couple bucks.
Yeah.
But anyways, he'll take me to dinner. Yeah, I got time to go to Dancing Bears Anonymous.
Yeah.
Anyway, I shelled out the $70.
I wrote it down on a piece of paper
said,
for you.
Rick, after he left, why would you do that?
Why did you just hand him $70?
Well,
Did you hand me $70?
No. You've seen plenty of times in the past
Yeah.
when I've been in a bad mood and it takes a long time to unwind.
Oh, yeah.
In order to get a show
course,
out.
yeah.
So what did I do? Let's give him money and get him the hell out of here and get back to work.
It was cheaper on our mindset to
but
remove him.
Did he remind you of somebody on a street corner that
was in need?
A
little desperate. Yeah.
And he was on a mission that once he knew he was getting a 25.
Yeah, we jack it up to 70, you know?
I might as well go for the whole 70 because I got a pigeon on my hands, and the pigeon happens to be me. Okay, I just wanted proof. The producer, not that he tells the truth. Producer, go back in the stadium, cease and adjust the camera. Let's get out. Yeah, it's going in the
kill
dumpster.
somebody with that.
Yeah, like to propel your skull off. Anyway, Samantha's a friend of the show. Folks, in case you guys remember, pretty girl, won the bikini contest a couple years back. Last year, Samantha, would you like to work? Yeah. Oh, we're going to be on a big yacht, big boat, free drinks, the whole thing. We're going to promote a contest and do all kinds of stuff. We are stranded. In case you don't know, last year's episode, stranded. Castellano, the pigeon that he is, not because of Samantha. Shell out $100 to Samantha here. It's for wasting your time. Go buy yourself a pair of fishnet stockings or something. Anyways, not that she asked for anything. She wasted her day to come and give us a good show. And what did this guy do? People were stranded. He's too busy not answering his phone. Folks, how many people do you know? Did you hear this when you call them? I'm sorry, the mailbox is full and they're unable to take calls at this time. I'm sorry, the mailbox is full and they're unable to take calls at this time. How many people do you know like this? They need money. They're available 24 hours a day. I'm leaving my lunch hour. Wait a minute, I'll be right there. Wait, look it. I'll do. Oh, you'll be at the gym? I'll drive to the gym. I'll drive 60 miles to Buffalo. I'll turn around. I'll do cartwheels, and I'll meet you at the gym at 8:15 in the morning, and I'll even bring you coffee to get the money. To pay the money back. Hello, Rich? Hello, Rich. Rich, call me back. Text. Rich, call me back. Rich, call me back. Rich, just please call me back. Rich, call me back. The phone never worked. I left it in my car. I don't know. I'm working overtime. This guy, if he worked overtime all the time, he said he worked overtime, well, he couldn't make it because he's working overtime, he'd be a billionaire. Folks, this guy works a minimum amount of hours. He works for a company that I don't know how much longer he'll be working there, but if it was me, I would have scrapped him a long time ago. What does he do? He does anything he wants. He lives for the moment. That's all he cares about is having fun now. And you know, do I trust him? Absolutely not. Will I give him any more money? Absolutely not. What's his name? In case you folks don't know, it's a Rich Cologne. Folks, you're watching the Rick Castellano show. Now I'm done with this. On with the show. Plenty more to talk about. If you ever have to do business with this guy, folks, run! Run! As a matter of fact, he smells nothing like this. Folks, did I mention Valvoline screwed me? Well, wait a minute. Let's be fair. Do I still like Valvoline? Yes, but not the Gates Spencerport one.
Very good.
Here's your coupon. Keep it. We didn't talk about politics at all this show. Could you imagine that? A political show, political satire, celebrity gossip, and I didn't even mention anything. Let me get ready. Start to rev up the engines. Danica Patrick, how good you do the other day, honey. Hey, you ever think racing might be a man sport? Castellano, what are you saying? I'm saying is, broom and dustpan, get home and clean because you're doing terrible as a race car driver. It's the old Castellano speaking. Until you prove me wrong, stick to cleaning. All right. Bill O'Reilly. Now, mind you, to me, what do I think about O'Reilly? Sometimes he's right on the money. Other times, he's a little weaselly because he wants so much to get the big interviews. Like Barbara Walters, and she sucks anyways, that he'll bend over backwards. Oh, the president was a nice guy. They invited me to their White House. And whip-de-doo. I hope you enjoyed your pig knuckle sandwich because I didn't. Okay? I don't care. The president treats me good? Good. How you doing, Mr. President? How you doing, sir? Boom. But when he wants to talk his politics, when he talks his game, when he wants to tell me what he's all about, I despise him. Okay? So he may be a good fellow that you might meet. You might go trick-or-treat at his house and saying, hey, thank you, Dumbo, for the candy. And thank you, Mrs. Snuffleupagus. Man, hey, get out of my bag. Don't eat all my candy, Mrs. Obama.